podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Carter.
And I'm your host, Cody Van C. Lello.
Well, Cody, this is a bye week edition. We're going to do more of a deep dive into the cyhawk game. A beautiful, beautiful win. I just want to do some more specifics and some look at some of the box score going in more numbers wise and like talk about the execution from the offense and defense. But first, let's talk about that gigantic cyhawk win for volleyball. We destroyed Iowa. We took it to them.
Yeah, it was definitely like a very hype game. And then obviously earlier in the week, Coach Christy Johnson Lynch she announced that the curtain, which is normally up during our volleyball games, was coming down. So that way basically you had the entirety of the arena open because she wanted to get basically the biggest crowd in the history of Iowa State volleyball, and it got really close. It was in fact the second largest crowd in the history of Iowa State volleyball. And what a day to have that crowd. That going into volleyball here individually, Iowa State took the win in 4 sets, won the first set 25-10, and it was a pretty high hitting percentage from Iowa State. They hit 545, so they had 13 kills, only one attack error through that entire set, which is obviously great to hear. Your offense is very efficient with where they hit the ball and where to place it. So really good on the Iowa State squad there. And from there, we were basically in control. The only hiccup Iowa State really had was that third set where Iowa found some resemblance of offense. It was hitting .33. So, and they only kept the errors down to 3. Meanwhile, we had our highest total errors in that match with 4. But we were generally in control. And to go over some of the individual players, I obviously got to give a shout out to Niley Gonzalez. Like preseason, like coming back, like an honorable, like last year, all the accolades you can think of, Big 12 Rookie of the Week, Big 12 like player and whatnot. She was on a mission. She was on a mission to win Cyhawk. Looking at her stats here, went for 18 kills, only 4 errors off of 29 attacks, which put her hitting percentage at approximately .43. Did have herself a service ace, which is always great to see, and she got herself a block and a couple of digs. She was really the star player for our squad. Not too far, and then a little bit behind her would be Maya Duckworth with 10 kills, Lily Walkholes with 8 kills, and even Morgan Brandt, our setter, got in on the action, got herself a few kills with 5, and she was doing really, she had herself a pretty nice day from the kill line, and overall just great dominance by this Cyclone squad, and it feels great to be up 5-0 in the Cyhawk series. So, way to go, ladies! You proved that it is a Cyclone state, and that's now 5 of 6 Cyhawk volleyball matches going the way of Iowa State.
Let's go, baby! Like that's how it needs to be every single year,
Mm-hmm.
and dominating from the start. Another thing I got to talk about is just the amazing weekend that we had. We had the win. We had David Montgomery score the game-winning touchdown for the Lions in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
We had Will, Allen, Brees, Kene, and Brock all in the same game facing against each other on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We had Tyrese talking stuff to Ty Schmidt on the Pat McAfee show, which was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, and that was the same reason. Did you? Yeah, that was the same. That was the same segment where Tyrese Halliburton put his Olympic gold medal on the line for the Cyhawk volleyball matchup in exchange for the Lisa Bluter bobblehead that Ty Schmidt had. And on Twitter, it said like, "Your gold medal is safe with us. Is safe." Ty Halliburton, and it's just a graphic of Niley Gonzalez. It says Cyclone State right behind her. So great.
Hilarious.
That was great. That was great. And I'm glad the Cyclones are connected, like all of us, even like in different sports. It's great to see. Like the Cyclones are a huge community.
Once a cyclone, always a cyclone is so true. And even just when you see them at Tuggets, I know what was it last year at Tugget? I saw Greg Eisworth and that whole crew when we went up and go say hi to them. So just everybody in that community being down to earth. I just love it. I can't wait to be back out there for the Baylor game. But
Mm-hmm.
let's get into this cyhawk game.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start in the first half of this game. I'm gonna pull up the box score in this game. 1 second.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know if I asked you this while you're pulling this up. I didn't know if I asked you this on our reaction show, but how did you feel about seeing that CBS intro for the Cyhawk game and how they presented that?
Dude, I when I said that they make magic like every time, dude, like every time that they do, it's like a storied like rivalry or something or a big game. They always
Mm-hmm.
will like bring in like uh retro videos or videos from the time before.
Yeah.
I really like that. What did you think?
Yeah, I love the presentation. Like it was absolutely beautiful seeing highlights from both Iowa State's history and Iowa's history in relation to the series. And then you obviously could tell like just how much it meant to the state, and obviously just the presentation overall. The intro video was great, and then that beautiful like pan shot of Kinnick Stadium as you hear that CBS theme music. That was such a great opening shot to the game. You knew you were in for a good football game. Like when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good football game.
Yeah, the intro sucks you in, and then with Gary and Brad coming in and announcing, dude, they do the little intro.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's they put on a great presentation. That's what everybody else has been saying basically the entire week. Um,
Yeah.
let's look at here. We're gonna look at the first the first drive right here. So basically, on this first drive by Iowa, they went 9 plays, 36 yards. So they started off at their 25, and they gained. They ended up at Iowa State's 39. So they ended up getting. They ended up driving down the field a good while until they punted. So they basically were doing typical Iowa things. Got down to the ISU 39 and restacking coffin corners it to the 1 yard line for that. And as you know, we're like, oh God, here we go.
Mm-hmm. They found it. They found another great punter. Now that you went from the Aussie Tory Taylor to I don't even know who like his ethnicity is, but I swear if he's Australian, I'm gonna be like, oh no, not again.
I think he is Australian.
Oh god, not again.
Not again.
No.
Yeah, but and then actually this first drive it actually started off pretty well. So yeah, we're at the 1 yard line. We're in the back of we're in front of the north end zone, or
Mm-hmm.
facing the back of the north end zone. Rocco ran a nice little QB sneak up the gut for
Mm-hmm.
3 yards, and then Abu ran for 5 yards to the 9. And then unfortunately we were in third and manageable until Hufford got a false start, and then we were at third and manageable again. We had another false start,
Yeah.
and then I mean that's where the drive fell apart.
Yeah. And I mean that's the noise from Kinnick Stadium. Like you're basically right in the neck of that north end zone. Like luckily you aren't like right next to the student section, but it was loud. And I think you could tell it certainly was feeling on the players. The players could certainly feel it because of how loud it was. And I think just that drive just showed like it's going to be a tougher game. And I mean, obviously, the coaches like already knew they knew it was going to be a challenge to play in this game, and unfortunately, it was kicking us in the rear at the start with those back to back false starts, and it just set a really bad tone for the first half.
It did, and the Iowa's next drive and ended up, but
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just continue it here, but
And it gets in the
basically,
butt. Oh, got
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
He
yeah, that
went.
drive
He
it
kicked
was what, two
something.
plays? Yeah, it was two plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just Cade McNamara over the middle to Jacob Gill, got him right in the red zone. I think that could have easily been a touchdown had Jeremiah Cooper not gotten that shoestring tackle. That easily was going to the house.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
But then they got it anyways. Caleb Johnson just gashing our defense, taking it outside, and just touchdown Iowa.
Touchdown Iowa. Yeah, that was one of his many few 20+ yard runs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then this was, I thought was gonna be out. I thought it was. Oh gosh, here we go. This was the next drive. We got it down at the Iowa State 5 after Iowa punted, and of course Abu runs it, and then unfortunately Rocco throws a very bad interception.
Yeah, in that moment, I instantly had PTSD from Sebastian Castro. I was like, please do not return this. Please do not return
I was
this. I
like,
was,
no,
no, not again. You can't do this to me 2 years in a row. I can't have Rocco Beck throw two pick sixes in 2 years against this Iowa squad. No.
I can't have it, man. uh, but yeah, so they go in and what was it? Like Kamari Moulton run. Man, we got to talk about this Kamari Moulton run because this is probably one of the most iconic moments in the game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Kamari Moulton goes in, big citrus, boom! I was like, oh,
Dude, I saw that play, and at that moment, I was like, okay, I think we have something here with our D lineman. I mean, Dominic Orange just absolutely blows up the run. He gets by. I don't know who that was. I think it was Luke Lachey or some other tight end that
man,
was on him. Blows right by him, and then just completely wraps him up, takes him down to the ground. And Moulton, right in that moment, felt the power of Big Citrus.
the power of big citrus, man. You don't want to mess with that, bro. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man! And then after that play, there was another there was a loss of 1 yard. I think it was a screen pass, and then there was another incomplete pass. So a net win for the defense. We forced them to a field goal. Now the game is 10-0. So we're doing good right now.
Yeah.
And then the next drive, we go 6 plays, 27 yards, and there was a few missed plays on this one. Rocco had a few balls that he threw a little bit high,
Mm-hmm.
so we went down. And then the next drive after this was a little bit before half. Iowa drives 77 yards and kicks a field goal. And
Yeah.
luckily, like this is the second quarter, so luckily, they didn't score a touchdown on this drive either. We were able to stop
Mm-hmm.
them again in the red zone.
Yeah. And I mean, we didn't know it then, but these two like goal line stops were going to play a huge factor into the rest of the game because I mean, even after getting up that short of a field off of the pick and then to hold Iowa to a field goal, that was amazing in itself. And then again, a longer drive by Iowa. Then we forced them to kick another field goal, and I'm thinking, okay, we at least can hold. We already broke once, but at least now we found like some spine, and
Mm-hmm.
we weren't breaking. We were not breaking. Bend but don't break, and I think that's just kind of like Heacock's like that's just what we've seen out of John Heacock's defense the last few years. Bend but don't break.
Yeah, and one of the things that I thought was very promising with this drive before half, because we got the ball right before halftime, was I'm like, all right, this is gonna be, we got a touchback. This is gonna be our best field position of the game so far, and as I said that, we drove down the field, 52 yards. So the key plays in this drive were a 17-yard pass to Jaden Higgins, um, and also a big roughing the kicker penalty that continued this drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just Getting that first down was huge because that could have easily like that late into the game, into half. Excuse me. I mean, what they still had like some time. Like Iowa might have had a little bit of time left.
Mm-hmm.
About like 30 seconds left. But I'm assuming like I'd err on the side that Ferentz probably wants to just take it to the half, so it probably wouldn't have too much of an impact. But it did give us a chance to maybe put up something before the end of the half. Unfortunately, it didn't because Kyle Conradi missed a 41-yard field goal. It hit off the left upright, left post, and we were blanked in the first half. But take it. Remember the name Kyle Conradi here. Remember it for later in this show. You just remember the name Kyle Conradi. We'll come back to
remember
him.
the name. Remember the name. Remember the name. So yeah. So after that, we get to have 13-0. Everybody, Cyclone Twitter is in full meltdown mode. Myself, I was fine. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's 13-0. We just need to get this offense going. How were you feeling? I want to know how you were feeling in this. Point.
Me, it was definitely rough, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like kind of like how usually Iowa State fans will feel. But there's that little bit in me in thinking like, okay, we held Iowa. This could have been a lot worse. They could have easily been up 21-0. We held them to those 2 field goals, and I mean, we at least drove the ball into scoring position. And Kyle Karate obviously missed his first field goal, but I mean, that's his first ever collegiate kick. So we'll see what happens here in the second half, and let's see if Iowa State makes the adjustments that they need to make.
All right, so they start out, and Jalen Noel makes a mistake. He returned it out, and he got to the Iowa State 9-yard line. I'm like, oh no, why'd you run that out, bro? And Abu Sama for a 1 yard. Rocco throws a pass incomplete. Rocco throws a pass to Gabe Burkle. And then there is a delay of game penalty. So they give him more room to punt. We kick it back to him. And as you know, Cody, last year in the Texas game, that one wheel route that Caden Helm beat us on, I would try to do that, but guess what happened?
It was picked.
It was a beautiful and athletic play by
Darren Porter.
It was man. Talk about a guy who had to wait his turn, man. In his 6th year, man, from Bettendorf, Iowa, already from Eastern Iowa, born in enemy territory. Gets a huge play, and this gets the offense going right here.
Yeah, and obviously I'm pretty sure like somebody in the coaching, somebody on the defense recognized that play because obviously you get burnt by it once. You're not going to forget how that play went. And yeah, I think just somebody on that staff, whether it been Jeremiah Cooper, Malik Verdon, Miles Burgess, somebody on that defense knew that play was happening because they saw the formation. And Darry Porter knows exactly like where the ball is likely going to, and he jumps the route perfectly. And I said this like after this pick, I said it was game on. I said it was game on. Iowa State is right back in this game.
Oh yeah, I will have to say there was a scary moment in this drive. It was on 2nd down when we threw that little like swing pass to Carson Hansen.
Yeah.
The turnover look that we had in this game, bro. Man, if this was any other year, that would have been a fumble for Iowa.
Yeah, they would have recovered it.
Man.
Yeah, but it was fumbled, but it did go off the leg of an Iowa defender out of bounds, so that kind of saved the drive essentially. I didn't notice it in real time, but when I went back to it, I'm like, yeah, we got lucky. Got lucky.
Woo!
Yep.
So yeah, we ended up getting 3 yards on that still. It's 3rd and 3. Rocco throws a nice pass, a little play action pass to Steve Klotz. He runs it for 28 yards to the Iowa 40. That was a great play call by Mauser.
Absolutely. And I think this is just the beginning of life, and this was just a small preview of what to expect for the second half of Iowa State. Being able to have that much room to run for Steve Klotz, getting us instantly into Iowa territory, I think there was something there. We saw something.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the running game started to get cooking a little bit. Abu Sama ran for 10 yards,
Mhm.
uh, and then I mean he did. Then he got no gain. Then second and 10, Bramer for 21 down to the
Mhm.
Iowa 9.
Yep.
Oh, man, and then Jalen Jackson. Let's talk about him for a second, man. Jalen
Mhm.
Jackson, with his patient runs, he's very very shifty. I think he's a great addition to the running back room.
Mhm. Yeah, and I was just listening to something like saying like Abu Salma, he's more the home run hitter.
Yeah,
So he'll break out a lot of runs like to the outside and whatnot. Jalen Jackson is definitely more of like the downhill, straight in your face, like smashing you in your mouth type of running. And that's what I love to see. A guy who's able to just run right at you, smash you in your mouth, and gain a few yards. And that was great. Got us into great position, basically like 2 yards out from the end zone, and just great positioning for Iowa State.
and of course, one of Rocco's favorite targets. We finally get on the board. Jaden Higgins 3 yard touchdown catch. I thought we all thought it was just a regular touchdown catch, but then when you saw it, you're like, man, he actually stole away an interception. Holy
Yeah,
cow!
he stole it straight from the hands of T.J. Hill. Just a replay. I thought, yeah, when I saw that one, there's a photo that showed you. It looked like if you showed somebody that photo, no context, you would have somebody they would have told you that thing is picked.
Right.
But no, Jaden Higgins just wanted it more. He was able to locate the ball and snatch it right out of his hands, and I think that just shows you. I think it's something that Matt Campbell said either in the post game interview with CBS. It's like you basically like who wants like how much longer can he go to get that moment or whatever, something like that he said in the post game interview. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
was the personification of it in one play. Iowa had it right there, but Iowa State just wanted it more. And yeah.
Man, they sure did. So Iowa State's on the board. We're down 13-7. Fortunately, there was a defensive lapse on this. There
Yeah.
was, yeah, there was a
Yes, Caleb Johnson again.
Caleb Johnson again, 54 yards. Man,
Mm-hmm.
that was rough. And then he ran in again. 19-7. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about this. Maybe this isn't our day. And of course, next drive, I was proven wrong
Yeah.
because
Wait. Before you talk about the next drive, Iowa went for two, so came back. So they went for kind of like a fade route to the back corner, to the far right corner, right by the student section for Iowa, and the pass is incomplete. And we're thinking at that time it was insignificant. But little did we know towards the end of the game how significant that missed opportunity was for Iowa and how that's going to come back to bite them.
man, yeah. So yeah, so they score. They missed a 2 point conversion, 19-7. We're like, all right, now let's see. For me, I was thinking, I'm like, all right, you know what? What does Iowa State have cooked up on this drive? We said in the pregame show on keys to win with the Bleav in Iowa State guy, with the Bleav in Iowa guys, we were
Mm-hmm.
like, you got to be patient. Patience is key in this game. When the big shot comes, you got to take it. They took it. A 75-yard pass to Jalen Noel for a touchdown. And at that point, Cody, I was like, "Oh, we winning this thing, bro. We're
Yeah,
winning it."
you know what's funny? I had uh man, I had something ready to go. Let's see, right here. So I have this photo right here. This photo right here was, in summary, the day for Jalen Knoll. And obviously, if you can't tell who these two are, I'll give you a reference. So here, Xavier Wongpa. I had heard all week about Iowa fans hyping him up. One guy said like Xavier Wampa could have gone anywhere. 5-star Southeast Bowl, could have gone to Ohio State, could have gone to LSU, but he chose to stay home here in the state of Iowa. Let's see what you can do, Xavier Wampa. And then obviously Sebastian Castro had the pick six last year. So Jalen Noel had something for him, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, to,
Smoke
to the
them.
to the Iowa fans who said Xavier Wampa was going to lock us down, is this your king? To quote Killmonger, Is this your king?
I love it. Is this your king? Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah, hold on. I got something
Oh,
even better. So let me show you. I got another one here, just to really rub it in.
yes.
Right here. You see this space right here? I said this looks more like a game of tag that you play on the playground as kids. This doesn't look like football. This looks like you're playing a game of tag.
Tag it.
Yeah, and, and I mean, from there, it was just after that touchdown, it was basically a slug. It was a dogfight. It was a slugfest. It's who can land that last, who can land those shots in the late game. Who can be the one to get that one last punch to finally get the knockout.
Yeah, man. And after that, the defense took it to them. The
Mm-hmm.
defense played with their hair on fire. They sold out for the run, and it ended up working. We ended up shutting them down for the rest of the game. I
Yeah,
think they ended up only running for like, what was it, like 13 rushes for 12 yards for the
something
fourth
like
quarter.
that.
Point
Yeah,
9 yards.
yeah, and then something here else to note also in Iowa's. This is like so. Cycle Football put this out on Wednesday. For Iowa's their last 6 drives, they only gained 23 yards. So,
That is unbelievable. A stellar job by this defense, man.
And John Heacock definitely adjusted. And speaking of this defense, can we talk about Kale Brazina real quick, stepping up in his first like collegiate football game, being cyhawk in Kinnick?
Bro, a great one. Chicagoland product, local product. It's near and dear to my heart. But like, man, just the fact that he has the green dot on his helmet as a freshman, dude. He was playing like a man possessed out there, looking like a third or fourth year guy playing that. Wow, that experience as a freshman. I'm excited to see what he has for the rest of the
Yeah,
season.
yeah. I'm thinking he might become like a part of that pipeline of like Mike linebackers that Iowa State has produced in the last few years. I mean, I'm talking Willie Harvey Jr., Marcel Spears, Mike Rose, Orion Vance, Kale Brazina. Like, I mean, it's one game, but he looked exactly like those guys.
Yeah, he did. And Man, because one of the things that we were worrying about was the linebacker depth. And
Hmm.
now, after this game, because this is the game that I was worried about linebacker depth, and I was like, you know what? I'm not worried about it anymore. I mean, we have we have this bye week to rest up. Who knows? McLaughlin may be back. He might be back for Houston, but whoever we put in there, like this is going to be a very, very, very good week to review film and you know maybe talk about the defense. Get ready for that and get ready for conference play.
Yeah. So now, yeah, and then yeah, that defense obviously played huge in that fourth quarter. So,
So after that we stuff them again, um, and okay, and then now we go back, we go down again. So this time Iowa is in their own side of the field. We got great field position at like the 49-yard line.
mhm.
Rocco throws an 18-yarder to Higgins for the first down. Abu runs to the 29 for 4 yards. Rocco throws a 1 yard pass to Abu, and then Conradi with the 46-yard field goal, 19-17.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
46 yarder. I mean, he's got some confidence back. Like, certainly that second kick and just that area of the field, that side of the field. Heads up, Iowa student section. That's not the last time you're going to see Kyle Conradi.
yep, not the last time. You thought it was, but nope, it's not.
Right, and then and then after that, a field goal. These following drives were the epitome of the nickname given to the Cyhawk series these last few years, El Asico. It lived up to the name. Let's see, punt after punt after punt after punt. Now, let's go to Iowa's final drive here. So they
Okay.
have the ball with about 2:50 left, and I'm thinking, oh no, we punted the ball to him. I don't know if we're ever going to get the ball back because we had it with 3:15 left to go. We failed to capitalize. And I'm thinking, please, I was thinking we punted the ball to him. It's essentially, if they get a few first downs, it's essentially game over.
Yep. And yeah, and I felt like we sort of mismanaged our timeouts a little bit because I was like, oh crap, if they get a first down, it's over. But the defense stepped up, and we were able to stop them and sell it on the run. And we forced Iowa to take a timeout before they go out back onto the field. And Caleb Johnson goes for no gain. They run the clock down to 34 seconds. Now, Cody, in your heart of hearts, did you really think we were going to go down and win this game?
Honestly, I didn't know. I didn't want to say anything because I don't know if they're going to actually do it. They had the guys to do it. Like, we have the guys to do it. But could we actually put it together here? Because these last few years, I've been heartbroken by Iowa State and how they handle these like these late game moments, not just inside of cyhawk, but in other games. They've hurt me so much. I didn't know, but I held hope. I held hope
too. I'm like, man, please don't let an interception be thrown or anything. Please, just something crazy happen, please.
Mm-hmm.
And little did we know, Cody. Little did we know. All right, let's talk about this last drive. Holy crap. All right, so we're like, okay, Rocco, get it going. He gets it going, man. Throws a 10-yarder to Jalen Noel for a first down.
And the key is he got out of bounds as well. He didn't just get a first down. He got out of bounds because remember, Iowa State, we have no timeouts here. We can't mess around with passing it down the middle unless it's a first down and temporary stops the clock. So great play calls great play call there to make sure that we got enough yards to the first down, like a higher out route to get a first down and get out of bounds. So beautiful right there.
Yes. And then we force Iowa to oh wait, no. Now here it is. So we're like, okay, Rocco, let's see what you got. Rocco throws a beautiful ball down the sideline, and it got us in the field goal range, 30 yards. Jalen, I'm like, oh, yes!
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy? Like, I saw the route. I saw who he burnt. Sebastian Castro.
Man.
He burnt him because I think it was because he ran the same exact route he did just a previous play, but instead of going out, he goes upfield. Sebastian Castro loses him. And then Jalen Noel able to use his speed to get out of bounds right at the target field goal line, right in field goal range.
It was beautiful, man. And then we got another 2 yards to Bramer. Then we go down and clock it, and we're like, all right, Conradi, it's your time, man.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was like, all right, Conradi, let's see what you got. How were you feeling? Were you confident that he was going to make it, or were you like, oh no, here we go?
I just held my breath. I didn't even think about the moment. I was just like, just the play happened. Just let it see what happens. Whatever happens. Just know that we at least put up a great fight. I'm at this point. I'm like, I don't care what happens. Even if I'm heartbroken, I just know this team at least didn't go down without swinging.
So. I do remember him saying that he feels like he could kick it from 60. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
F it, we ball. Let's see what you got, young fella.
Mm-hmm.
Bro comes up, calm, kicks it, booms it right down the middle. And bro, as soon as that kick went through, I was at my friend's house. I was running around. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Dude, yeah, I was so okay, so here's the thing. I was with my friends because we were we were at Ames. We were at volleyball. We had volleyball going on during the game. Mm-hmm. We were watching it while the volleyball team was playing. So yeah. We see the field goal happen. We were going nuts. We even showed I think the cheer squad we were watching it with them. They were watching it with us. We all saw the field goal. We all saw the score. But I want to show but I got one last photo. You got to see the beauty of this right here.
Surrender Cobra.
The infamous Surrender Cobras. Then you got Then you got this one Iowa State fan right in the middle of all of them, celebrating like crazy. This wasn't even the only one, but there were more photos, but that's the epitome of it. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Tyler,
Man,
about that?
Not to mention he's in his Beat Iowa shirt in the middle of Kinnick. That's what makes it even better.
That's the best sort. This is what we love. Like, this is what rivalries are for. Yes, you may get your heart broken here and there, but when you get that win, like when you win in their building, it's better. It hits better. And from there, and basically, and then just the last drive, Iowa goes for a Hail Mary. They were at like midfield, basically. Caden McNamara puts all of his might into the throw. It was going to end up short anyways of the end zone. It was at about like the 10-yard line. So it would have had to have been a miraculous scramble from Iowa to even get the touchdown. Darren Porter gets his second pick of the day, goes down, and just like that, the Cyhawk Trophy is returning to the beautiful city of Ames, Iowa, and it's the second time in 3 years the Iowa State Cyclones defeated the Iowa Hawkeyes in the Iowa Corn Cyhawk series.
What a game. This is, I think, for me, this is probably going to be one of the most memorable Cyhawks in my recent memory of being a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, and after this game, a few memes went around. I actually made a few memes right here. So this one, if you've seen Spider-Man, anybody seen Spider-Man? You know this meme. Yep. And then I have this other one right here. That celebration from Jaden Higgins, I was like, oh no, he is a fool for that celebration. But we needed that.
It scares me.
Just beautiful.
Dude,
that was
you gotta
just
show that
great.
That crying Hawkeye one.
Yeah, and then this one right here. I think you shared this to me.
I said that to Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys want to see these memes, you can find these all on my Twitter. Follow Matt Campbell. You can find me there. I'm just gonna plug it while I'm here. You can find me right here.
Man.
Yeah, just a beautiful day.
Man, the memes, the amount of copium from Iowa fans, bro, it was glorious.
I forgot I had this one before you had that crying herky. I forgot I had this one right here. I had this one right here. I had this one. I put this over the top of their final score. Like the final score tweet they made, and I just retweeted with this photo. I was like, yes. But real quick, I want to show this beautiful video that I made. I actually made right here.
Campbell getting it, bro.
Dude, that was basically that had to have Matt Campbell walking back in the Ames with the trophy. That was actually the caption. But yeah, just a beautiful day. It was just a beautiful day to be a Cyclone fan. And I don't know if I could have even slept after that one. I don't know if I could have slept. I'll be honest. I don't think I would have been able to sleep for the next day.
I couldn't. I was tired the next day, bro. I was so excited. I think that's probably been the most excited I have been after a Cyhawk game, even after 2022. Like, like
just the way that everything went down, the plays we made, the Iowa State made, and oh boy. But yeah, obviously the Iowa State fans, we were all very happy. We were just giving the business to all the Iowa fans because we had kept I kept a good amount of receipts. I kept receipts on the Iowa fans, and I just laid it. I just let it all out. I just gave it to him.
As you should. As you should.
Hmm. And just yeah, I will forever have all these surrender covert images saved on my phone. I have a whole folder of them. They're beautiful. There's a few here and there that may like that look interesting, but my goodness,
Cody, you want to
it
know what the
was
best? You want to know what the best thing is?
what.
We have bragging rights for a full calendar year, so this is
Hmm.
not like
They can,
basketball. Come up, we gonna get y'all.
yeah.
Wrestling, we're gonna get y'all there too.
Hmm.
Be
Anything
ready.
else, basically, like yeah. And I mean, what's funny is like I saw a tweet that said like if Iowa wins this, they're just gonna brag about the game to our faces for like a whole like year straight. If Iowa lost, they would have been like all time series. They did exactly that. We had them read to a T for what they were going to say on Twitter to cope. It was beautiful seeing all those tweets, and I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. You have the all time series or whatever, but guess who has the trophy? Beating.
I mean, it's predictable, dude. Like they're copium. We're used to what their copium is, man.
Yeah,
And then like and then the thing about saying that Iowa sucks because they can't fathom losing to Iowa State. I'm like, dude, come on. I'm like, I know we're rivals, but you gotta think that we're good. Then they keep calling us saying that we're the mid 12. I'm like, do you
yeah,
see
and
the
then
teams that you play?
yeah, and then they keep bringing up our all time like program history. Yeah, we don't have a great program history, but if you really like near like if you see like the comparisons of what the teams have done relative to relative to like Campbell era and fans, like what has been done. And obviously, one of Matt Campbell's biggest weaknesses is he hasn't beaten Iowa that much, and obviously that still holds true. But he's got
Mm-hmm.
the most recent win, so that's the one that's going to matter the most. And then what Campbell's done with this squad compared to what Ferentz has done. I mean, you look at the two teams, put them together, and see who had a better recent like past decade. I'd say Iowa State because we at least I mean we
Mm-hmm.
obviously went to the Big 12 title game. We went to a New Year's Six Bowl and won that thing. Now they can Iowa fans can say all they want about how it doesn't count in COVID year, and I mean yeah I get it, but I mean at the end of the day it's in the record books unless it's vacated by the
It's
NCAA.
still look here a wrestling term. It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, it
So
is. It's
like,
but just a
yeah,
beautiful day, and I mean this might set the tone for like the rest of the year and I think now this gives me more confidence, like to see like if we can win those like road games, say like West Virginia or even Kansas. It gives me that confidence, but obviously we should like focus one game at a time, and I think that's what is being preached like this week. Like we can rest up, obviously focus on Arkansas State, and then we move and then we go to Houston and Baylor. So we've just focused one game at a time, and that's what I'm gonna like out of the staff.
no, yeah, that's why I like the staff, like because obviously what, because yeah, the one game for me, the one game at a time thing is definitely for the team. For us, we're fans, bro, so we can say
Mm-hmm.
that we gonna go 11-1. Like, because
Yeah,
honestly, bro, if you really look at the schedule, can you really say that there's a team that we can't beat? Because everybody right now is sort of has flaws right now.
yeah.
I mean, K State, who's playing tonight at Big 12 after dark. I mean, their secondary is could get exposed tonight
Yeah,
from.
they got tested by Tulane. They got tested by Tulane, and we said,
Yeah,
I think we
man.
said, like, watch out for Tulane. Like, if they can't, like, if the cards fall right, they can pull off the upset. And they almost did. So,
I
watch.
mean, they won off of a fumble return for a touchdown. So I mean, and they were Tulane was driving. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. So that could have easily gone south for them. Oklahoma State looked vulnerable against Arkansas, SEC bottom feeder. So they looked vulnerable. West Virginia, they looked better against Albany, but now like them losing to Penn State doesn't look as great because of how Penn State struggled against Bowling Green. And then I'm trying to think, Utah. I mean, Cam Rising being out right now. I heard it's not going to be too serious of an injury, but keep an
hmm
eye on that. And yeah, I mean, right now this conference is chaos. Like you don't know who's going to win this, and I think this fits right with Iowa State.
I mean, you see next week's schedule. I think next week Utah and Oklahoma State, or Utah goes to Boone Pickens.
Yeah,
So Utah has to hope that Cam Rising is ready for that game because
yeah,
that game is
ready.
going to be nuts, ready and raring to go.
Yeah, in
I mean,
Stillwater, that
yeah.
fan base is gonna they might eat you alive if you aren't like prepared to play it in Boone Pickens. They're gonna eat you
Hold on.
alive.
We're gonna let's look at this schedule real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go to the Big 12. Um, 1 second. Do. And then because there's two games tonight. Um,
Hmm.
so we got Kansas, UNLV, and then after that it's K State, Arizona on
Hmm.
Fox. But I'm gonna share the screen. Here we go. All
Yep.
right. So Arizona State, Texas State was a great game. Arizona State, who I will say in our first show ever that we ever did together for win totals, we did say that they would be under, but now they're 3-0 right now. So this might be the most shocking team in the Big 12 right now.
Yeah, I mean, what they smacked the piss out of Wyoming, took care of business against Mississippi State, another SEC bottom feeder. But again, it's SEC. Like if you look at it like a very casual perspective, a Big 12 bottom feeder being an SEC bottom feeder, that's going to boost up the Big 12 bottom feeder because you beat an SEC team. At the end of the day, that reputation is going to hold true. And yeah, it just shows that Arizona State came to play, and then they got that win against Texas State, which is very like close. But I think Texas State is going to be a contender in the Sun Belt and a contender to get that G5 spot in the college football playoff. So really good win for them.
Yeah, a very very good win. And then we look at UNLV in Kansas. This is not gonna be a give me game. Kansas got to show up for this one. UNLV has looked pretty good in their first two matchups. They're 2-0.
Yeah, and then Kansas struggling to get like they lost to Illinois, so that's not too good for them. So I mean, that's going to be if Kansas doesn't right the ship, they're in for a long year.
They sure are, man. That defense is not good at all. They cannot stop a nosebleed. And
Hmm.
then we look at the headliner for Friday night: K State in Arizona, the Battle of the Wildcats. Um,
Yeah,
man,
did you see what Arizona? Who's it? Arizona. Did you see what they put out for their uniforms? I think they
no,
put it out. I think they put it out earlier this week. It was something like so their helmets. So they're gonna have written on their helmets, cats. And I saw some things like it's like, oh, okay. I can share it right here. Yeah,
sure.
if you want to swap, so
Oh
I'll
yeah,
share it. Yeah, it's right here. So this is right off of their Twitter. Like, so this is what they're wearing tonight. This is like, you see this? Look at these helmets.
dope. I like those. Them things are nice.
Uh huh. Yeah, but I saw something like them going against Kansas State. It's like, oh boy, if Kansas State wears that, it's going to be a bit of confusion. But this is going to be a definitely fun battle to watch. I'm going to have a lot of fun watching this game tonight, and it's prime time. It's right there on Fox. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah,
And again, Iowa State on the bye week, we could just sit back and take in all college football, even including the backyard brawl. Shout out to our West Virginia brethren. Let's see if you can get that win at Pittsburgh in the backyard brawl. Then,
man. Then we have Cincinnati at Miami of Ohio, which is going to be a sneaky good game.
yeah, Miami, Ohio getting that upset at Cincinnati last year, so watch out for that.
Then we have the Battle of the Brothers, Utah State. Fun fact: the starting quarterback for Utah is Zach Wilson's little brother. So
Hmm.
it should be an interesting matchup. Utah State, Baylor
Yeah,
will
real
play.
quick
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
for Utah State. You want to know who the starting quarterback is for that team?
Spencer Petras.
Former Iowa QB.
Oh man.
Low-key, that hate watch is going to be fun because I don't care who wins that game. It's going to be fun to see if both teams struggle.
Oh man. Wouldn't it be something if they pull off the upset?
That would be hilarious. That'd be great.
I'm thinking about that right now. Oh man, that'd be hilarious.
Yep.
Oh, and then we
And then,
got 6:30 on regular CBS, we got Colorado at Colorado State. That's going to be a raucous atmosphere after last year's game.
Mm-hmm. You know, Colorado State wants to get that upset. They want to get that game back in blood. They don't want that upset. You know, they want it bad.
Well, yeah, Colorado's sort of reeling right now after the comments that Shadur made about his offensive line and to the media.
Yeah,
You
this is
just
a
don't
perfect
do that,
opportunity
man.
for Colorado State to really upend Colorado.
Yeah, it could go off the tracks because Colorado's schedule is about to toughen up in the next few weeks, especially going into
Mm-hmm.
conference play.
Yep.
And then another underrated conference game we got UCF TCU. This is going to be the first conference game of the year. This is going to be a really really good one. This is on the same time as Colorado State. So if you have YouTube TV, this will probably be in your quad. But man, UCF TCU is going to be a great matchup.
Mm-hmm. And real quick, yeah, we mentioned Arizona, Kansas State this week. To clarify, Arizona, Kansas State is not going to be a conference game because this game was made before Arizona joined the Big 12. That was the same case with the Utah Baylor game last week. So realignment caused a lot of wild things, but yeah, just had to clarify that for anybody if they were confused as to why we aren't saying that Arizona K State was the first conference game of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, so that should be interesting. And then we have the Battle of Houston. Um, Rice versus Houston. Rice actually won this game by 2 touchdowns last year. But Houston have showed a lot of fight last week at OU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had Oklahoma struggling. Oklahoma only won by 4 when they were like, I believe, a 28-point favorite or something like that. They were a multi-touchdown favorite. Only won that game by 4, and it was the margin was by 2 for a while in that fourth quarter until Oklahoma got that safety. So maybe Houston under Willie Fritz may have found something. They may have found something in that Oklahoma game. We'll
Who
see if that translates.
knows? Maybe they have. I mean, we'll see what type of team they're going to be down the stretch come conference play.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they actually start next week against Cincinnati at home. Um, BYU goes on the road to Laramie at Wyoming, 8 o'clock.
Yep. Wyoming struggling a little bit, and maybe BYU after that win again at SMU, where they held SMU out of the end zone, only gave them field goals, made the QB like look terrible. BYU could have something. Oni Sataki might have the guys going at BYU. If they can find like some rhythm on offense, I think BYU could be a sneaky like contender to get a bowl game.
Yeah, I mean, if they get to shoot, they get to what? They'd be 2-0. So I
Yeah, they're two
mean,
and zero right now, if I'm not
oh
mistaken.
yeah, they're 2-0 right now. So man, to get to 3-0, you only need after that three more wins to get to a bowl game. So
Mm-hmm.
hey, all you have to do is just go what 3-6 after that, and you'll be golden.
Yeah, and I'll mention real quick some other matchups. Now we can go around to the country. Some
Yeah,
matchups to watch out for is number 4 Alabama traveling to Camp Randall to take on the Wisconsin Badgers.
yeah,
Memphis taking on Florida State. Florida State is reeling right now. They're really struggling, and it's a good opportunity for Memphis to really bolster up their resume to get that G5 bid for the playoff. Number 24, Boston College, traveling to Missouri to take on number 6, Missouri Tigers. We'll see how Boston College is, whether their win against Florida State was a flash in the pan or can they sustain that, given that in hindsight, Florida State may not be who in the preseason we thought they would be. And then Tulane at Oklahoma. How Tulane gave a fight to Kansas State, and I think maybe Kansas State is better than Oklahoma because Kansas State has the better QB between them and Oklahoma, so I
right.
wouldn't be surprised there. Can Purdue upend Notre Dame season after Notre Dame as a minus 7,000 favorite, a multi-touchdown favorite against NIU at home, losing that game? Purdue could catch Notre Dame in a slump.
I think that if you're a betting man, I think Notre Dame is a heavy favorite in this game. Put your money on Purdue.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
line's 8.5, minus 8.5. I could put Purdue to cover that. Honestly,
yeah,
Notre Dame is reeling.
Notre Dame is reeling right now. I mean,
Mm-hmm,
they can't come up with anything offensively right now. Should be
mm-hmm.
interesting. Let's talk about. There's just a few more games. There are a lot of interesting matchups. We
Yeah,
got at 2:30, we got Oregon. I Bleav they lost this game last year, looking for revenge against
Mm-hmm.
Oregon State. I mean,
The Civil War.
The Civil War.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Oregon's been reeling. They've been struggling. I mean, obviously they've been able to squeak out games against Idaho and Boise State, but they're reeling a little bit. They're kind of underperforming. So maybe Oregon can get back on track if they win convincingly at Oregon State. Then you've got for SEC for you, Tyler, Texas A&M heading to the Swamp to take on the Florida Gators. How do you feel about that one?
Honestly, bro, I feel like I have a better outlook for them with DJ Lagway starting because honestly, at this point, you don't need to be putting in Graham Merch. You need to see what you got in the young fella. The young fella had a great game last week. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, albeit it was a FCS team, but hey, you got to start somewhere. But I'm really, really excited about this game because if they win against A&M at home, hey, maybe they can end up 3-1, 4-2 before that tough stretch in
Mm-hmm.
the second half of the season.
Yeah. And then so that's like pretty much like that 2:30 to 3:30 window. Let's take a look
Oh,
at some of the evening games. Yeah,
wait a
that Texas
minute.
A&M Florida game is at 2:30 on ABC.
And then we forgot about one on Peacock, the Apple Cup, Washington State.
Oh, we forgot about that one. I mean, Washington State, I mean, they got that convincing win over Texas Tech. So they're looking good. They obviously put up 70 points against Portland State. Then they beat the tar out of Texas Tech 37-16. So yeah, Washington State looking pretty good here. John Mateer at quarterback, 467 passing yards and 6 TDs through 2 games. He's also their leading rusher with 252 yards and 2 TDs.
Interesting, because
Mm-hmm.
Washington's run defense has been sort of lackluster at this point.
Yeah. So let's see if maybe he can exploit that defense.
Let's see.
Yeah. Now we can go to that this evening window of 5 and 6 and 6:30. The one game that I actually saw that it could be interesting is Northern Iowa taking on number 23 Nebraska at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, that one can be very, very interesting. Um, like Northern Iowa has, they've given Iowa State and Iowa fits within the last decade. Just going west to Nebraska. This should be interesting. Indiana UCLA could be interesting. Kirk Signetti, the new coach of Indiana, has them rolling. Indiana scored 77 points last week. They won 77-3 last week, which is unreal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and looking at the schedule here for Indiana, I mean, your realistic test would have to be at Ohio State, against Michigan, and then against Nebraska. But 2 of those games are actually at home for them. They get to host Nebraska and Michigan.
Hey, I mean, the way Michigan's looking and depending on how Nebraska looks, hey, why not? Why
Yeah,
not
but,
them?
but Nebraska, let's see how they look here. But they're looking pretty decent under Dylan Raiola. So watch for Nebraska. See if they can put it together here in a second year under Matt Rule. But
Yeah.
yeah, these are that's pretty much like your slate. Those are a few games outside of the Big 12 that if you are a big sicko of college football, just tune into that. And yeah, and then that's pretty much it. I don't have really anything
Yeah.
else to say.
We don't have anything else to say. Thank you for joining us on the Bleav in Iowa State podcast. Find us at our Twitters. I'm at SciTi Guy.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm Matt Campbell impersonator.
Yep. Find them at Matt Kaplan Impersonator. Follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Facebook at Bleav in Iowa State. Bleav, BLEAV. Um, so, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Also, leave us some positive reviews. We're up and coming podcast on your favorite podcast provider. So, once again, this is Tyler Carter,
This is Cody Vancillo.
and this is the Bleav in Iowa State podcast. Go Cyclones.